wish upon a star, your dreams come true. Gianna.
Chris.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm amazing. What are you up to these days? Are you playing?
I'm trying to get together a group to kind of do something virtually and put it out there to the world, just because I haven't done that since quarantine started. And I'm also working on a lot of writing and arranging and composing and things like that, and just honing my skills and my technical abilities that I hadn't done before and I didn't have the chance to do when I was in school and doing a lot of other things. So quarantine has kind of given me that time to, work on what I really need to work on.
Now, last time I saw you were going over to Berklee School of Music. How was that? Did you enjoy that experience?
Yes, I did. I went over there for 5 weeks, and I had a really great time. I worked with Terry Lynn Carrington and Rick DeMuzio. And Diane Reeves actually showed up at a recording session.
Get out of here.
I'm not kidding.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Hey, well, speaking of into music, was it always music in your house growing up? Because, wait, how old are you now?
I'm 17.
17?
Yes.
Okay, and I've seen you play. You are amazing.
Thank
you. Did you start at like 6 months old, or was it, did you wait 8 months? Or
No, I started when I was 4, and I started playing... And I started playing classical when I was 4. And my dad, when I was very little, he used to hold me as a baby, and he used to play classical music or just chants like gospel chants, and he used to just kind of like dance me to sleep. And so that was kind of just a thing I was surrounded by. As he was always been playing music, I used to go to sleep and we would be playing music, and that's actually how I learned a lot of songs. Is I would put them on playlists, and then I would put my iPod on the speaker, and I would play the songs, and I would go to sleep, and I would listen to those songs all through the night, and then it would, obviously stop at a certain point so I could just sleep, but that's how my brain would kind of remember certain melodies, songs, and that's kind of how I learned music for a long time.
Wow. And then at what point did the heavens open up and a voice appeared and says, Gianna, follow jazz music?
When I was 7, I had this opportunity to play at this string project LA. They were basically this group with only string players, and they would play like rock music. And
you were 7?
I was 7. I went in and I learned how, like the basic pop stuff, I guess, so like chopping and playing licks and just trying to play sort of in the changes and playing blues scales and just like...
Blues scales at 7?
When I was 8, one of the founders, his name is Robert Anderson, and he is a violinist, and he taught actually at USC, and he brought one of his students over to perform for us, and she started playing jazz, and she was singing, and she was using her looper pedal, and she was having all these effects, and I was like, well, that's really cool, and I was like, I really want to do that, so I got lessons with him, and that's really when it started. He had me doing basic etudes and outlines and just like stuff that I stuck with for 3 years. I did like 3 songs for 3 years.
Yeah, I mean,
it was very intense, deliberate practicing, which I later realized was quite an advantage for me. I didn't really understand why I was doing it.
Why was that
point,
such an advantage?
Because I reverted back to that method of practicing after. Actually, if you do that same method, it actually gets you more places, because then you really have that ingrained in you, and you can that's your comfort zone now. Okay. And so then you can move out of there and then do something else. So that's kind of what I do. I do more deliberate practicing than just playing over a song and trying to see what ideas I can come with. So for a song, if I were to be practicing, let's say 2 hours a day only on that song, which would probably, 2 hours a day on one song, but then I'd have to do other things, right? But that would take me about a week.
Wow.
So a song a week, sorry. So that
I love hearing this stuff.
that's my goal, is pretty much doing a song a week, like a book a week. So that's also kind of something I have in mind. I haven't accomplished that, but the song a week thing has been pretty mainstream in what I do.
Hey, Tony Guerrero, happy Father's Day, man.
Happy Father's Day, Daddy-O.
Yeah.
And you're old enough to be my dad, right?
Sometimes.
Well, I'm glad to be spending it with you and spending some time with some great music and, as always, some fantastic artists. We've got some nice stuff planned for everybody tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, I agree. Tonight we got some really exciting things to talk about regarding the future, of Steamers Jazz at JAX as we go forward here.
Yeah, we're going to introduce you to, you were there, we were there together on Thursday night to hear this incredible young violin prodigy, 17-year-old Gianna Pedregon, and our good friend Chris Williams is going to be doing a little interview on the scene with her that you want to make sure to catch that. And Chris, by the way, is great at the interview thing, isn't he?
His energy that he has on the stage, he brings into those interviews also. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. And we've also got some great stuff from my friend trumpeter Rick Braun, who, if you've been around jazz radio anytime over the last 20 years, then you're familiar with Rick. But Rick is he's a great player and a sweetheart of a guy and just a great history. And so we're going to have him on. He's going to play a couple tunes for us and tell us what he's been up to. And we were supposed to originally going to have Arturo Sandoval on tonight again. He'll be our first repeat guest. And but we're actually going to put him off for another week because we've got some stuff planned with him that we weren't quite able to get ready this week, and we're going to get it ready for next week. But we have more than enough to fill tonight as it is. So
14 weeks ago, in response to the first announcement of this pandemic lockdown, our team here at JAX Entertainment and Steamers Jazz at JAX doubled down on our mission. This is our mission statement, to protect and promote the finest performers, songwriters, composers, and instrumentalists in the world by producing and broadcasting their high-value music content.
Yeah, and what's been really great is that, when we started doing this, we just started reaching out to musicians and friends, and it started off where, it was easy to get our friends because they're our friends, but we started reaching out to some artists that we didn't know on a personal level, who even from across the country, guys like Randy Brecker, I'd never met him before.
I know.
I've been a fan for years. And they're just being so generous with their time and their music and their stories. And it's just turned it into a real thing,
Yeah, and, we've had over 50 guests already in this short period of time who've collectively earned over 100 Grammys on our show. We're looking forward to growing both our show and our offerings as we focus our vision to bring you even more excellent music from these world-class musicians. And we'll continue to bring you that Steamers Jazz at JAX, our one-of-a-kind variety show created specifically for the creators and the performers of this great jazz, and you, the audience that loves them, every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Right, and as we're starting to be able to creep back into live music, as you know, we've started Thursday nights and some other live events going on at JAX. And we'll talk more about that, but we're going to start doing something new on Sunday nights that we're calling Afterglow, which we're going to start presenting live performances as part of the Sunday night show from JAX, from the stage at JAX. And tonight it's my good friend Greg Vale. Greg and I go all the way back to, we met in 1984. Like a week after I graduated high school and he graduated college. We ended up no joke. We ended up in a show together, and he's never forgiven me that he had already just graduated college and I was only getting out of high school, and I had the same gig and the same pay as him. So
wow. Yeah, and finally we already
a little bit of bitterness there.
Well, we already brought you these several live broadcasts on Thursday nights that we call the Steamers Jazz at JAX Artist Showcase. You know, Tony, your band was there. We've had Josh Nelson, Tawanda, and Gianna, and you know, we have some great other acts coming up in the future. Those of you in our local audience can come down and enjoy these events with dinner and drinks in person. You know, we've got it all set up really nice, going by the COVID standards, lots of space there. You know, I mean, Newport Beach, summer night, sunset coming down.
Even a parking lot in Newport Beach is nicer than a lot of other places in the world. So, and for those of you that can't be there, although that's really where you should be, is with us, but especially those of you around the country who have been watching, you know, you always can join us on the live stream and throw on your headphones or plug your computer into a great sound system, because boy, the sound has been just fantastic, and we'll acknowledge all those people. But for a live streaming show, the sound has been so good. And so just hopefully you're coming to expect that from JAX Entertainment and Steamers Jazz at JAX. We're trying to set a really high bar, Terrence Love notwithstanding.
I'm doing my best. So, you know, get ready to enjoy some amazing jazz all summer long as a part of Steamers Jazz at JAX, you know, family on Sunday nights and Thursday nights.
Steamers Jazz at JAX variety show, followed by Afterglow on Sunday nights. Our title is getting longer and longer. Starring Tony Guerrero and the former owner of Steamers.
And, you know, Steamers Jazz at JAX Artist Showcase on Thursday nights. And please become a member and support our show if you can by, you know, showing some love, some Terrence love, by putting it in our tip jar at steamersjax.com. STEAMERSJAX.com. You know, we got to put these things on, and it's a lot of work behind the scenes you may not see. You know, we truly love bringing you guys this incredible music and these interviews and all the stuff, letting you see the inside and behind the scenes of what's going on with these amazing artists, and we really appreciate your love and support.
When you wish upon a star, your dreams come true.
I love joking around that you were 7 and 8 and 10, because at that time I was playing with Transformers. That's what I was doing. What was, if you can remember, what was the first jazz song that kind of just like knocked you off your feet, where you went, whoa, and just like blew your mind?
When I heard Ahmad Jamal play.
Yes.
That was a lot. I remember sitting there. I was at Berkeley, actually. I really liked his style, his playing. I never really heard anything like it before, because I was mainly focused on horn players before. And horn players and, you know, some rhythm sections, but I didn't really get into like the trio stuff until later, which was surprising to me. But everyone else was, but I just didn't check it out. And then I finally did, and I was like, whoa, what I've really been missing a lot. Yeah. And so that's kind of what, not the only thing I listen to, but that's my main source of listening material now is trio stuff. So you have Bill Evans, you have Ahmad Jamal, you have Oscar Peterson, you have, you know, all these people. And so I just pretty much just listened to that. And his playing, Ahmad's playing, was very different than anyone else that I had ever heard. And I really liked the space. The space, and you would just sit there, and the drums would be, and it would just be nothing for like a good 10, 20 seconds, even 30 sometimes, and then he would go, and then you're like, whoa, that's just where it needed to be, and you didn't even know. And then the way he would put like, and it would be like this whole thing, and then he would pull out again. And then he would go back in, and it was just like, I want to be able to do that.
Yes.
Like, that's how I want to play, but somehow make it so that I can play it on my instrument, because obviously I didn't play piano like that. So I've kind of been trying to work out.
It takes confidence to leave that much space, doesn't it?
And trust that the audience is still listening to you and makes sure that you're, still playing. You're still. It's a whole thing. He eliminates the whole solo melody thing.
Yes.
It's completely different, which I love because after a while, it gets a little tiring. So that changed the way I play forever.
Wow, she was really amazing at the Artist Showcase this past Thursday, you know, and of course, with Josh Nelson's trio there, Josh on the piano and Dan Schnell on drums and Alex Bonham on bass. It was wonderful. And this girl's 17 years old. She was incredible.
She's great. I was just learning how to oil my valves at 17, and that had taken me 3 years.
Yeah, and then you met Greg Vale, and then
Right.
That's what happened, right? Anyway, once again, I'd like to remind you to support our show and our artists by visiting our tip jar at steamersjax.com, STEAMERSJAX.com. We thank you for watching and really appreciate all you're doing in support of our great music and the exceptional artists.
I do want to acknowledge that part of the Thursday nights is, it's not just a normal gig anymore. There is so much work to make Thursday nights happen. And we just want to call out all the great work being done by Jack and the team at Campus JAX. Of course, Tim Ellis. And the staging and lighting is being provided by Mark Wood Entertainment. Mark is a local guy who's had a great entertainment company for years, and he's a great musician and performer himself. And so he stepped up to the plate and is providing all the staging and lighting. So you're not just sitting in a parking lot, by the way. It's a great stage and a great lighting setup. And then sound support by QSC, one of the leading audio companies, is there. Not only, they didn't just drop off a PA, they're there running the sound and making it sound great. And of course, Golden Preciado she's just been so great at Campus JAX over the last couple of years that I've been there, and now taking part in this live thing. The sound, if you watch it, the sound is incredible online, and it's thanks to them and thanks to all that work.
This particular Thursday, we have the lovely and powerful voice of Elena Gilliam, and she'll be joined by her husband, great guitar player George Gilliam, along with their trio, and I believe Mike Levan's there. I'm not sure, but we'll see. If you're local, please come out. If not, join us for the live broadcast. You're going to love it. And I do want to say that what we're doing now is, we're sticking to the COVID thing, et cetera, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second, but there are tickets available. You can go to campusjax.com. They're $15. You can come. You don't have to buy a table necessarily. If we want you to bring a couple people, but if you can't buy them in advance, just come on down to the door and, hopefully everything will be wonderful. We'll have a great time, and there's no rain. We're in Southern California, so I think you'll like it. But anyway, I do want to tell you a little about Jack and his team at JAX doing it right. The entire impressive setup is outdoors. There's 16 tables socially distanced at 6 feet. The servers are all wearing masks. All of our staff is exercising every precaution with temperatures taken, with the little forehead thing, and frequent hand washing. I feel completely comfortable going there myself. And I'm one of those old guys that I think is the susceptible, and I feel really good when I go there too. Plus, I've never seen as large of a hand sanitizer. It must be a gallon pump that they got there.
and I think it's been a real benefit to us all that you've been wearing a mask.
Yes.
So, anyways, if you're a fan of the music, we would like to make sure that you take the opportunity to come out to see us live and join us there at the venue. And by the way, next week, the July 2nd, I will be there with my quintet with Leah Booth, and we'll be doing that. Our first time together since, I don't know, January maybe. And speaking of great music, here is a great tune from my friend Rick Braun, trumpeter Rick Braun. And this is his tune, Get Up and Dance. Not you, Terrence. You stay where you are.
What a great
Everybody
guy,
else, get up and dance.
Trumpeter Rick Braun is known for his stellar playing and production in the smooth jazz world, but his career covers multiple genres over several decades. He began producing while a student at the Eastman School of Music in the 1970s, and in the 1980s co-wrote the hit song Here With Me for superband REO Speedwagon. He also toured the world with artists like Natalie Cole, Glenn Frey, Tom Petty, Sade, Tina Turner, and Rod Stewart. His solo career took off in the 1990s, and he has released multiple hit albums, earned a worldwide audience, and won several awards, including the Gavin Report's Artist of the Year twice. Please welcome Rick Braun to Steamers Jazz at JAX.
All right,
Well,
we're
we're
back.
back, Tony. We're
Look
back,
who's with
Tony.
us. Look who's with us, Terrence.
I
Hey,
know,
guys.
Ron, man. What's up?
Just hanging out in the studio and having a little a moment with you guys. I appreciate you having me on the show, and very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, man. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's Father's Day. I have 2 kids, so I'm definitely a dad. 2
Yeah.
kids that I know of. So
Right.
there you have it.
We're honored to
And I
have you
like
here,
them
my
both.
friend.
I like them both a lot. They're great kids. They're
Awesome.
teenagers, and this is like the last couple weeks I'm going to have with my son before he goes. He's going to report to the Naval Academy. He's going to play basketball at the Naval Academy.
Wow.
Interesting.
So
Wow.
so he's going to do that, and then my daughter's going to be with us. But very emotional times right now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Very
sure.
emotional.
How's the whole
Yes.
quarantine been treating you? Have you been staying busy?
I've been staying busy. I've been working on some 2 tracks for Dave Cause. I'm producing some tracks for him, so I'm just talked with him, and I've got to get those done because I'm going to be producing Richard Elliott's new record.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm getting ready to do that, and so I've got there's a lot of challenges involved with doing music now because
Right.
it's everybody sends bits and pieces, and you have to make sense of it from a distance, and trying to communicate as a producer, trying to communicate simple ideas. It's not as simple as it would be if I said, hey, let's get together and sit here and do this.
Hard work is good for you. It keeps you young, man. You know?
Well, I hope so, because I'm going to turn 65 in a couple of days, and
Oh,
I need
my
all the
God.
help I can get.
No, you're not really, are you?
Just a spring
I am.
chicken. Spring chicken. Oh, my God.
I thought at best you were maybe a couple years older than me. I had no idea.
How old are you, Tony?
I'm 50.
Is that what he said? He's 50.
I said I'm 53.
I'm 53. Oh my God, you could
Yeah.
almost be my son.
You.
Except I can't play basketball, so there's that.
Okay. Well, he didn't get that from me. He got that from his mom. I mean, his mom's an athletic person. So there
We're
you go.
talking age, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut at this point because I'm the grandpa here.
How old are you, Terrence?
66.
See, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And you look great. You look.
I
Great.
feel good, man. Life's good. You know, I'm filled with music and loving people in my life. So that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, and we're all, sadly, we've said goodbye to a lot of people that we know and love
Right.
over the last year. So it's great to still be on the planet, and it's great to be relevant in some way and have people want to hear what we have to say. It's
Right.
it's a gift. It's a gift.
Right. Well, speaking of what you have to say, we like to impose on our guests to play a song or two. You up for that? I mean,
I
I
would
see you.
love to do
I
that.
see you've got a flugelhorn with you, so
That's right.
I do. I have my flugelhorn, and the valves are still able to go up and down, which is good. And
beautiful.
so
What are you
think
going
I'm
to do for
play,
us?
I think I'm gonna play us. It's funny because last night my wife and I watched the Summer of '42,
Mm.
and I didn't realize that movie came out in 1971,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I was at that point 15 years old or so, and let's see, 71, 16, and so it was like watching that movie. of course, Michel Legrand wrote that beautiful theme and wrote the score to
Right.
that movie. And I'm a big Michel Legrand fan, so I'd like to play one of his songs that I love so much. It's "What Are You Doing with the Rest of Your Life?"
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Wow, that was beautiful.
All right.
And you know, and you were talking about that at your age and all that stuff, and it was also very pertinent in my life at that time because I was around there. I was adolescent. I had my eyes on that girl, that older girl or lady, whoever it was. It was probably a teacher or something, and I never had the relationship, but I certainly fell in love with a few of them.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. And I had a chance to see Michel Legrand play with he performed with the Philadelphia Orchestra at Robin Hood Dell. It's outside of Philadelphia. And I remember I took my 8th or 9th grade sweetheart to my parents dropped me off and we watched that concert. It was a beautiful summer night. And so, his music has touched me from a very early age, early age. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, you got another one for us?
I could try a little bit of "Have You Met Miss Jones?" I mean, I'm playing along with this app, and I don't know if any of the young players out there are aware of this app, but it's an absolutely awesome teaching tool. It's called iReal Pro. You probably have it, right, Tony?
Yeah. It's great.
Have you talked about it with the viewers at all?
No, not yet. No, actually, please go ahead.
Well, it's a great app. I think you have to pay something, but it's not much. But it basically has just about every jazz standard, including Christmas songs, if you want to go that way, on it. And you can select tempo, you can select key, you can select different instruments, pull out the drums,
different styles.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's
especially like during this quarantine, it's been something I've been using a lot just to be practicing at home because you really can pull up just about any song. And there's a lot of great play-alongs available on YouTube or you can get all the Aebersold still, but this one is really easy to use and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Tony, speaking of Aebersold, when I was in school, it was even before Jamie Aebersold, and then when it did come out, it was like records and these big
right.
And, it was E flat or B flat, that's all it was for me.
And all your stuff was in black and white.
That's right. So was our TV. So was our TV. We didn't have color TV.
Yeah, there's three, four channels.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's let Rick play another one.
Have you met Miss Jones? Someone said as we shook hands, she was just Miss Jones to me, to me, to me. Then I said, Miss Jones, you're a girl who understands that I'm a guy who must be free. And all at once I'm out of breath. All at once I'm scared to death. All at once I see the earth and sky. Now I've met Miss Jones, and we'll keep on meeting till we die, Miss Jones and I. Miss Jones. Someone said as we shook hands, she was just Miss Jones to me, to me. Then I said, Miss Jones, you're a gal who understands. I'm a guy that must be free, got to be free. All at once I'm out of breath. All at once I'm scared to death. All at once I see the earth and sky. Now I've met Miss Jones, and we'll keep on meeting till we die. Miss Jones and I.
Fantastic! Wow, that was great.
All right, Rick. So
Yeah.
you told us that first of all, thank you for doing that, and you mentioned you're working on a couple of new records for Dave Koz and Richard Elliott, both two fantastic sax players, and so you've been in the business a long time. Like, what's exciting you these days musically, or the way you're producing or writing, or what's got your mojo going these days?
Well, it's interesting because the thing that continues to inspire me is when I hear other great players take a song that I've been working on, and we all work in MIDI world. That's how we compose, and I've got my computer here and my sequencer and all of that stuff, and so we compose in that world. And then, as with Dave's tracks, it started out with having John Robinson played drums on one of the tracks. Then a very talented drummer, Kahari Parker, played remotely in Chicago on another track. Two very different tracks. The one that JR played on is kind of a shuffle. It's a 12/8 thing, and I didn't realize that JR had played on The Way You Make Me Feel with Michael Jackson, and so this song has a similar feel. And he said, "Well, I did this hi-hat thing, and I overdubbed the hi-hat, and that's how Quincy got that whole sound." And we did that. And he said, I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to do that. And so, I take my MIDI drums out, and the song becomes a whole other thing.
Right,
and then it's like, then Nathan East comes and plays on it. He didn't come here, but he played on it. And you get Nathan's part, and you think what was a perfectly fine MIDI bass part that you fell in love with, all of a sudden falls out of, it's like, forget about that shit.
Right.
Now you got Nathan East on there.
Yeah.
And then I'm very fortunate to have David Sanborn played on this track with Dave.
Oh wow.
And it's like I've had a chance, and I've known David for many years, and he's a great guy, and just getting reacquainted with him, and he's at his house in New York, and of course he's got to be very careful because he's had health issues through his whole life, but having his voice on the track, and then of course Dave's voice on the track, Philippe Sace is playing. So the long story short is this. Now, I'm not doing this to drop names. I'm saying it because what inspires me most and what gives music longevity to me is the voices of all of who's playing on it. The voices of all of these players adding their years of talent, their immense talent to a track, and making it come to life and explode in front of your face. And it's just all of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, this thing got bigger and bigger.
Right.
And each thing that's been added makes it more and more wonderful. So I'm so blessed to be able to work with people like this. It's absolutely a miracle.
Yeah. That's great. And of course, the problem is when you get a live player on and then you decide you like the MIDI better.
That's a problem. That's the big problem.
Right.
But I can't say which songs, but I have credited the player and kept the MIDI.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have.
That's your secret.
If you use part of what they do, it's really, But that's really rare that happens.
Yeah.
Really
Sure.
very rare. Or on bass, it happens sometimes because the synth bass thing is really a special sound. And
Right.
So I fired a couple bass players, and sometimes it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, Rick, thanks so much for doing this with us and hanging out with us. And it's good to see you again, and appreciate you being here. And
what a pleasure and an honor, my friend. It's great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Tony, so I know I know you've been going out to the valley lately, and you've been doing some stuff with our special friend Arturo Sandoval. Is there some kind of secret that we need to know about?
No secret. But the last several weeks, we've actually collaborated on a few projects. You saw my tune that we recorded
Right.
with him and Grant and Brian and Matt, and then we've recorded some of his tunes. We've worked on some other projects. We're talking about future projects. I mean, it's been really great to just develop this kind of quick, instant friendship. We just found a lot of things that we just had in common in terms of
Nice.
the music and what we love about music, and so we've really connected well on that. And one day we were sharing tunes, and I played him a ballad of mine that I'd written many years ago, and I'm going to tell a short little story about it. But it was 1994 or so. I wrote this tune and I recorded it myself, and then probably about 2 years after I recorded it, I happened to see him in concert. My friend Dave Enos was playing, and this song is intended to be a pretty flugelhorn ballad.
Right.
And I saw Arturo in concert. My friend Dave Enos was playing bass with him and invited me, and he played some ballad on flugelhorn. And that night, I just remember thinking, "Oh, geez, I would love to hear him play that tune of mine."
Oh,
So
cool.
here I am, cut to however many 25 years later.
26 years later, right?
And I'm in his studio, and we're just sharing tunes back and forth. And I play him this tune, and he basically just said, "I love that. Let's record it right now." So we did. We just got back to the studio and just started recording that song. And then I invited some good friends of mine, a cellist named Ginger Murphy, and violinist named Lisa Donlinger. We do a lot of sessions together, and invited them to join us as well. And the end result is what I'm about to debut for you now, but it's a tune of mine called Beautiful. And I'm playing piano, and Arturo is just playing so gorgeously on the flugelhorn, and then Ginger and Lisa are joining us. So this is my tune Beautiful, and I hope you all enjoy it.
Wow, fantastic! And you wrote that 26 years ago.
Yeah, 26 years ago.
And is there a reason that only Arturo played the flugelhorn on that?
On this recording? Well, yeah, that was the long-standing dream. Like I've already heard myself play it, but
Yeah.
boy, to hear him play it, just
Oh yeah.
what
Yeah.
what a. And I did. By the way, I didn't tell him that story before he recorded. I didn't tell him that I had that thought so many years ago. So,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful, man. How sweet, and it's just great to see the relationship develop this way too for you, Tony.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
And he'll be with us next week. We've got some other stuff to show you. So
Cool. I can't wait.
I toured with Luis Miguel 2018, 2019, did about 2 years on the road with him. It was great. I mean, he's like I think he's the biggest name in music in the Spanish-speaking countries, and to get to go and play with him in all these countries that just adore him was a real treat, a real honor. You know, some of the venues were just huge. You know, like 20,000 people. And I would say that probably some of my favorite moments were where he'd be down there and looking up at me like, you know, like very affectionately, and I'm up there playing. I loved when those moments would happen because it was just, you know, it was a great experience to have somebody of his renown, of his talent, showing so much respect. And literally just, you know, seeming as if he's just really liking what I'm doing. That feels good. That feels really good. I'm working on a new project now, and I've been doing some writing, and the new music is really exciting because it's new, you know. So there's just there's ideas that have been kicking around. And I took the moment to write them down and kind of demonstrate them and get some music for it. And working with the guys, and we're working on performance of these new songs. I really believe that after 2 years of working with Luis Miguel that it's really made a better saxophone player out of me. The style of music that he sings is so passionate, and I mean he's just so expressive when he sings, and vocal expression is just a whole nother level that when a saxophone tries to emulate that, I feel like it just takes it a step above. You know, and there's been a lot of learning. I feel like I got a good 2-year little course of study, and you know, with Latin music and with one of Mexico's finest singers, probably Mexico's finest singer. And taking all of that into a new project is a very exciting thing. With the talent that we've got around here, collaboration has been an awesome thing. My good friend Marc Antoine is an internationally acclaimed French guitarist, and he is, I brought all the music to him, and it's like he's somebody that, you know, getting to work with him some, getting a chance to work with, you know, Mark Hugenberger, you know, who's an amazing keyboard player. There's so much talent, collaborating with so many of I've got icons I've worked with in the past in smooth jazz, but I also have just such a wide base of friends that it's very fun introducing the smooth jazz world to them because they're just so talented, you know. So that's what I'm getting to do a lot of right now. That's what we'll be doing at this upcoming show, is introducing some people, some players that they're not the regular every weekend smooth jazz guitar player that you see all the time or whatever. These are people that are in other worlds that I get to bring them together into a smooth jazz environment and share them there. It's going to be a lot of fun doing these shows.
A special shout out for Jack Jasper, the #1 father here today. Hey, I want to, for all of you guys that are not live here that don't know, we've been doing our simulcast. We're doing this both live on our normal Sunday variety show, The Steamers Jazz at JAX, and we're doing it live here. We're calling this our new edition of Afterglow. So there are many people that are tuning around all over the world right now listening to this. Just got through watching some wonderful performances by Rick Braun and Tony Guerrero and I interviewing them, and we're going to start this thing off with this incredible band, some lovely people and fantastic musicians here. It's Greg Vale and his group here, starting out with Nat Scott over there on the drums. Nat Scott, let's hear it from him. My friend Ernie Nunez on the bass. Where are you, Ernie? You're right behind me. Mark Hugenberger on the keyboards. And on the white alto saxophone, the gold soprano or baritone saxophone, and the black and gold tenor, Mr. Greg Vale. Let's hear for the Greg Vale group. Enjoy the show, folks.
Hey guys, that was really distracting. That airplane starts coming up there. I'm like, oh man, I totally distracted my little self. It is Father's Day. We got a few dads out there. Any hands? Let's see. Yeah. All right. You know what? It's a pretty thankless job, but it's an important one. And we love you. I know I love my dads. And I love being a dad, and I love being a granddad. You know, that's a whole nother thing. You know, nobody told me how much fun that was going to be. And if they did, I wasn't listening because I didn't believe them. But being a grandparent is pretty fun, too. So thank you, dads. God bless you guys. That was a song called Affirmation, and we're going to carry on with the tune right now. Ramsey Lewis, In Crowded.
Thank you very much. That was a song called Daydreamin'. Brand new little thing we were just playing around with, and I like it. I hope you do too. We got a lot of music for you tonight, and God, we got a little bit of time, and thank you so much for coming out. And again, thank you, super big thanks to our dads, because I get to be one too, and I think it's really fun. It's really cool. We're going to do a song right now called Fallen Gracefully. It's another new song off the upcoming CD.
Thank you very much. It's a brand new song. This is another new song off the upcoming CD, and this song is called Sunrise in Sevilla, which was beautiful. Thank you. That was Sunrise in Sevilla. And I'm going to do a couple songs off my very first CD that came out before the turn of the century. How's that for owning this beard? 1995, before the turn of the century, we did this CD. This song was a cover song. Smokey Robinson made it famous and wrote it, so he deserved to make it famous. This is a song called Just to See Her. Is that what we're doing? No? Okay, let's do that. And we're going to song. Oh, okay. I messed up. That's all right. 1, 2.
Thank you. That was Smokey Robinson's version, really, of his song, Just to See Her. And we're going to do something a little different right now. I've been playing around with something I'm calling jazz mashup. And I don't know if I'm using these terms really that right, but in my mind, taking old jazz songs and kind of trying to do new versions of them is kind of cool. It's kind of mixing things up. And then I started doing them on the big saxophone, which is an old school kind of sound, but doing it with the pop background and the music is kind of, I don't know, kind of cool. So I've been playing around with this idea. I might be doing a project of all of these songs. I've got a bunch of them now. And this is a song, it's entitled In a Sentimental Mood. It's an old jazz standard. This is a big instrument you wouldn't normally hear in a smooth jazz concert.
a big saxophone. It's a little cold out here, so it's a little bit of work trying to play it in tune. Sorry about that. All right. I believe that's the original heavy metal. It weighs like half near 40 pounds. It's a lot to have around your neck. Crazy. We're going to do a song right now that I recorded a long time ago on my very first CD, and it was the big radio hit. It was played a lot. I've seen this song used in 40, 50 YouTube videos. I mean, one guy had some tank video game, and he said that the tanks were making love, and he had my song in the background. I'm like, that's very strange. So this song's been used many, many times, but we're going to give you a nice, pretty version of it. It's a very cool song. Tony Guerrero, who's here a lot, he wrote this song, and this song is entitled Love's Gift.
It wouldn't be a smooth jazz show without kind of a happy little alto kind of thing. So we're going to pretend like it's 1997 and we're just out partying and having fun. Yeah, 97 was a good year, man. Song's called Over the Moon. It will be on the new CD. Thank you very much. This is fun. You guys hanging in there? It's a little cold, huh? No, I don't. It's a little cold. My saxophone says it's a little cold. Because if I hold that to my face, it's like chilly. Chilly willy. But it's white, so, it's just supposed to be cold, I guess, It's like my Christmas saxophone. It's kind of a December instrument. I know it was funny to me when I got this saxophone. I used to have a black one, and when I got this one, people said, "What'd you do?" And I said, "I got my black saxophone flocked for Christmas." Like you do the Christmas trees, This is another new one. This is kind of a fun one. I wrote this one for my daughter, and I played it for her the first time last night, so she just got a chance to hear it. And never written a song for her before, so she was kind of happy. It was fun. Very cool. This song is called The Chrysalis Effect.
much. I was planning on doing this next song on that big saxophone, but it's too cold to try and get it warm again because it's too big. So I'm going to do this song on my tenor saxophone. It's what I normally do this song on. And this is a song that is the most requested song. You ready? You ready? Okay, back when the wave first came out, when they were playing jazz and stuff, this song was on the radio like every day 10 times. It was kind of a little much, but it's a song that was written by Costner and Santana. And it's a very popular song. I'm sure you know it. You have to say that with your hands. Europa. Yes, I'd say it with both, but I'm afraid I'll lose the saxophone. All right, we're going to do... Let's do Equinox real quick, then we'll do all this. What time is it? Okay, oh no, you're right. All right, we have got time for one more song. Hard to believe. First show since our little pandemic fun for this band, and I am so happy that we got a chance to come out and play for you all. Thank you so much for coming and listening. We love each other, and we love you. We do. Man, we know it because we just spent 2 months not seeing y'all, so we love you. Okay? Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. This is a song called Always There, and somehow we weren't, but we're going to do it anyways. Always There by Ronnie Laws.
Greg Vale, folks. Greg Vale. Nat Scott on the drums there. Wow, what a solo that was, Nat. Ernie Nunez. Mark Hugenberger. Let's hear it for him. And Greg Vale. I want to thank you all for coming out to Campus JAX and Steamers Jazz at Campus JAX. We've got a lot of things going twice a week now. Coming up this Thursday, we've got Elena Gilliam. Yes, Elena Gilliam right here on this stage live. You can purchase tickets or you can just show up. They're $15. We've got tables for singles, deuces, four tops, etc. So hopefully you'll come out and do it. Elena Gilliam with George Gilliam, her husband, and her trio with Mike Levan on the piano. Upcoming next Sunday, we're also going to do our another live Steamers variety show at JAX, and that's at 6 p.m. And tune in to facebook.com/Campus JAX or JAX Hideaway. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I want to thank all the people in the background. First of all, that guy, Jack Jasper, he's the guy, that's Jax. And Tim Ellis in the back, you don't see him, but Tim Ellis, we even named a dish, Tim's Shrimp, right? Tim Shrimp. Golden in the background, you can't see her also. John Wynn over there doing all our videography, and we've got this all. If you want to look at it on our Facebook page after, it's going to be recorded and it's there, so we hope you'll enjoy that, and thank you for supporting us. SteamersJax.com if you want to put something into the tip jar. SteamersJax.com. Thanks for coming out, folks. Let's hear it again for the band. God bless y'all.